Selling sweets, but sour on handouts. My next guest cooking up a hot controversy. She will not accept, ever, food stamps for her baked goods at a Massachusetts farmers market. She says it's pretty crummy for taxpayers to pick up the tab for her desserts. Andrea Tabor owns Ever So Humble Pie Company. Andrea, very good to have you.
Thank you, Neil. Great to be here.
What made you put the hammer down on this?
Well, I just thought it was a misuse of taxpayer funds. The EBT program, or SNAP EBT, also known as the former food stamp program, was designed to bring nutritious foods to the tables of people who can't afford to buy them for themselves. Well, what I'm selling at the market is pies, whoopie pies, cakes, cookies. I don't think those qualify as nutritious foods.
Well,
and
wait, not so fast, young lady. In my diet, they do, but go ahead.
Well, in many of our diets,
right.
I mean, that's what I'm selling. I want to sell them. But in this case, if they only have limited funds, then every bit of that should be going to putting nutritious foods on the table. So I simply said it's a great idea having people use these funds at the market because there's tons of fruits and vegetables and farm fresh, locally raised beef and fish. That's all well and good, but not my product. It's a misuse of taxpayer money.
Have you run across those who have tried to pay with food stamps?
Nobody has actually come to my booth yet because it's a new program at the farmers market. The run-in that I had was with the management of the market because there was a form that came out to all of the vendors where they asked us all to read it and then sign it and get on board. And I refused to do that. I said I will not comply with this because
you comply with the provision that
it.
Food stamps should be accepted.
Right.
And what happened to you?
Well, they weren't very happy with me. They didn't understand what my problem was. And I explained it, that it was really, I had no problem with the management of the farmers market or the farmers market customers. It was this EBT program that has very loose parameters where you can get that money and spend it on just about anything. And I didn't want to participate in that, especially where, you know, your previous guest said our national debt is ballooning towards $16 trillion. We've got a lot of these bloated federal programs that are just sucking up taxpayers' money, and a lot of those funds are being misappropriated. And I don't want to participate in that. I'm very concerned about our national debt and the direction the country's going in.
But you're still at the farmers market, right? They didn't kick you out. Okay. Do the others,
no.
the others who are there, Andrea, what do they say to you?
Well, I haven't really discussed it with many of the vendors, just the ones who were set up either on the right or the left of me. A lot of the vendors there do sell products that are appropriate for this use. You know, vegetables and fruits and meat and eggs and cheese. There's a lady selling cupcakes. I do know there's a friend of mine who sells jams and jellies. She also refused to sign.
Oh, really?
Because she felt the same way I did.
But no one has told either of you, in that case, or others who might feel as you do, to get out or you're not welcome here, and you haven't run across any food stamp bearing customer insisting on paying in food stamps. You have a sign to that effect?
I don't have a sign, but the market manager said that up to this point, the EBT usage has been very small. But their plan is to use this year as a pilot program, and then what she said to me in conversation was, even though it's not mandatory right now, it very soon may be, meaning next year. And I said to her, well, then your position is in conflict with mine, and mine isn't going to change. So if you do make it mandatory, then I will not be returning. I would like to finish out this year, but if this is going to be an issue of conflict, maybe I can't do that. But nobody's telling me I have to leave. I would either have to soften my stance if it was mandatory and comply, or just not return.
Well, from what I've heard about your moon pies, you could set up shop on a lawn somewhere, and you wouldn't have to worry about customers. Andrea Tabor, by the way, I want you to rethink whether moon pies and that sort of stuff are a healthy food group. You should check into that. I swear they are. Andrea.
Thank you.